Hi guys, today we're going to read about the three Erics. In Mrs. Jewell's class there were three children named Eric. Eric Fry, Eric Bacon, and Eric Ovens. They were known throughout the school for being fat. Eric Fry sat at the end of the room, Eric Bacon sat in the middle of the room, and Eric Ovens sat at the end of the room. There was a joke around Wayside School that if all three Erics were in the same room, were at the same end of the room at the same time, the whole school would tip over. Eric Bacon hated jokes like that. That's not surprising. After all, he wasn't even fat. But nobody seemed to notice the other two Erics were fat, and so everyone just thought that all Erics were fat. But I'm not fat, Eric Bacon insisted. What's your name? Asked Jason. Eric, said Eric Bacon. Then you're fat, Jason concluded. And pretty soon, skinny little Eric Bacon, the skinniest kid in Miss Jewell's class, had a nickname, Fatso. Eric Fry was really fat. He also was the best athlete in Miss Jewell's class. His body was solid muscle. However, nobody ever noticed. The other two Erics weren't very good at sports. Eric Ovens was clumsy. Eric Bacon was a good athlete for his size, but because he was so skinny, he didn't have much power. So naturally, everybody just assumed that Eric Fry was also clumsy and weak. After all, his name was Eric. Whenever the other kids chose up teams, Eric Fry was the last one picked. They never noticed his home runs or the fabulous catches he made. Like all great athletes, he was made the impossible look easy. Of course, the other kids did notice the one time he dropped the ball. Eric Fry was playing right field. Terrence belted a deep fly to left. Eric Fry raced all the way across the field after the ball and last second dived at it. He caught it in midair with his fingertips, but as he hit the ground, the ball squirted loose. Well, what do you expect from Butterfingers, said Stephen, and since that time Eric Fry has had the nickname Butterfingers. Eric Ovens was the nicest person in Miss Jewell's class. He treated everyone equally and always had a kind word to say, but because his name was Eric, everyone thought he was mean. Fatso was mean because everyone called him Fatso. Butterfingers was mean because he always had to play right field. So naturally, everyone just assumed Eric Ovens was also mean. They called him Crabapple. Good morning, Allison, said Eric Ovens. How are you? Lay off, Crabapple, will ya? Answered Allison. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. All three of the Erics had nicknames. It was better that way. Otherwise, when someone said, "Hey, Eric," no one knew whom he was talking to. One time all the Erics would answer, and next time none of them would answer. But when someone said, "Hey, Crabapple," then Eric Ovens knew it was talking to him. And if someone said, "Hey, Butterfingers," Eric Fry knew it meant him. And when someone said, "Hey, Fatso," Eric Bacon knew that he was being called. The end. Tomorrow we'll read about Allison. See you then.